Hello everyone, Agion here, another Steel Division Normandy 44 replay. Spawned on the south side as the French Benelli, we have Tigga, and his opponent, Pbatt as the Panzer Lehr. Benelli does of course have a much higher initial income, while the Panzer Lehr will have, I think, has the highest Battle Phase C income, so most likely this game will go to the French in early. But the Panzer Lehr will start building up the heavier armor. Got a number of armed pension unit. Got a Scout 234, and just a couple AT guns. Various infantry. A bit more of a push here because that is the main road. However, over here we do in fact have an early Wolverine M10 tank destroyer, along with half-tracked units, along with Command Stewart. Actually, that's an M3. So I'm not actually. Stewart? Looks like a Stewart. The M5, I believe, is the usual designation of Stewart, but there is a Pack 38, so there is a 10 AP unit. He is going to be lining up some shots along these half tracks, but the French forces will secure these houses here. We just got reconnaissance. Both sides has Kubo MG, Jeep MG, 7HE, 7HE. Half the ammo, however. Over here, do got a Cannon 57. I think that's an M1 AT gun with 11 AP. There's also a bit more of a force here for defense. A bit more of a force here for defense. So overall, Panzer Lehr will need to reinforce this area with all of his soon amount of points. He may have a couple aircraft loaded up. Maybe that's what he's spending on, because 2 minutes have passed the game and I haven't seen any reinforcements for him. Perhaps he just wait and see what his opponent's doing. MG42, very critical in this defense. There's no frontline infantry. This Pack 38 will be collapsed upon by these Voltigers. But there is this, I do believe that is an autocannon. If you take a look, yeah, it has a pretty good rate of fire. So there's this autocannon. We'll make short work with those units. The tank destroyer is way back here. There is a 81mm mortar team. You have this scout unit is potentially in range. However, he's inside the orchard, so accuracy can be very inaccurate, per se. The autocannon starting to line up, will be supported by a half-track. This Voltiger is starting to move forward. If he moves too far out of the forest, he will be spotted by MG and will be laid upon by its heavy gun. Reconnaissance units will go down. It's quite important. Now there's nothing here to spot. MG34 42 will hit this command unit. That is very important. We do got a Panzer Grenadier, Vet 2 Panzer Grenadier with 2 LMGs. We'll miss short work of this infantry squad here. These half tracks, there's nothing really here to contend with them at the moment. The autocannon can engage them, so can the Pack, but there's smoke here. Very expertly placed smoke to allow the half tracks to move forward. You even got an artillery barrage. I'm not sure if he spotted that AT gun before. It's in open ground now, and we'll receive 2 direct hits of getting wiped out. Mechanized assault is pushing forward in this MG42. There are 3 Panzerfaust, 1 for each target. However, they're in open ground. They're not in any good position. They will be getting hit by these MGs, and they will be forced to pin down. We do got a Puma now moving forward. It has a full cannon. It has what is it, 75mm, or is it high-powered? It's just a high-powered 50. Resulting in 10 armor penetration. Very good gun. At least I have a pretty good disposition about the Puma, thanks to Company Heroes 2. The Wolverine is in the area. However, the Puma can engage it, and even close range autocannon shots can engage it. You got an assault over here, Panzer Grenadiers versus this Volstiger. The Panzer Grenadiers are in light cover instead of heavy cover. And once this half-track gets in range, the Panzer Grenadiers will be quickly forced out. You got a bailed out on the Wolverine. That is huge. I wonder, the Puma does get, I think it's actually in sight range. No, I'm not exactly sure what got it. Perhaps those autocannons. Maybe he is in range. Oh yeah, that Puma is in range. I was looking at, maybe I clicked on the wrong unit. That Wolverine is huge. going down. Now this area has collapsed. Will fall to the Axis forces. He has multiple autocannon units to help deal with any infantry. There is still a couple bazookas that he has number. He just can overwhelm it easily. May lose a half track too. The half tracks are going first in these forest areas, so he will spot them. We got Jeep MG, and the mortar team does get cleaned up. There is a Greyhound moving forward. Does have 7 arm penetration. However, only has 3 armor. This autocannon can make short work of it. We got another Wolverine moving forward along with a bazooka team and a command unit. Over here, you got the Axis units making some gains. Looks like a half track went down to a Panzerfaust. The infantry unit moved forward to these houses, and this half track moved forward and helped support the Panzer Grenadiers. Overall, the field control is in favor of the Axis forces and ticking up in favor at 54% map control. We do got this Wolverine now engaging, but it'll have little to fear against the autocannon. We'll go behind the sight blocker right here, so that is a very good positioning. The Greyhound's starting to move forward. The Puma's still alive back here. He actually lost one of the autocannon units. They may have gone down here. No, that's Stuart and the N10. Maybe right around here. Half track. So I'm not sure where the other one went. We do got a Spitfire coming in for a strafing gun, but however, there is a Vet 1 ME19 is more likely to win out because that 1-star veterancy has, as you can see by the suppression damage, it has received more. Will be turning around, but most likely won't be able to get the kill. Actually, no, making now need to make a white turn. I'm not sure how far away from completing the evacuating. Now receiving quite a bit of fire and will escape just barely. ME19 coming on, using the rest of its ammo to help strafe the area. We'll get the reconnaissance unit. So a Jeep MMG, medium machine gun. So that should be, yeah, it is a 30 cal. M10 will get a nice kill on that reconnaissance IFV. Has regained some field control, but at 57%, he has lost a lot of ground. In fact, this whole area has been collapsed upon. The AT gun couldn't maintain the secure. We got a bazooka team. He definitely did spot it, so he has to be a bit careful. Another bazooka team now moving forward. Bazooka does have a range of 200 meters. So it has a pretty good range. It also does have an accuracy of 7. Very accurate. I think the Pbatt has a 6 in comparison. Panzerfaust, and also in comparison, has a 10? Then again, it has a range of 250. That may be why it has a higher accuracy. Yeah, I think at that... I think the bazooka may also have an accuracy of 10 at 150 meters, so most likely that would just that little 200 meter just help, just more of a helping thing. Jeep MMG will get a nice hit there, using a pretty good reverse move in order to save it, but that was a reconnaissance unit. I think it was only a 2-man unit with SMG, so most likely it wasn't too big here. You got a half track along with some additional infantry moving forward. We got a 50 cal here. We'll pin down this Panzer Grenadiers, eyeing for the surrender now. He's going to need to get some reinforcements above here. There is a number of allied units now. Yeah, he is going to bring in some Panzer Grenadiers. Most likely that's Panzer Grenadiers. We got a Panzer Warfare eyeing to suppress that Wolverine. We'll do a good amount of suppression damage. We'll not force it to pin or fall back. However, there is a bit of flame on the road, which can do additional damage. Additional autocannon units moving forward. There's AT gun still alive, but however, only one member. There's also this Command Stewart. MG team will get, MG Kubel will get quickly ripped apart. Panzer is moving forward. May spot this reconnaissance unit. New waves are being brought forward. They do have a bit more armed than the. What was the previous infantry called? Either way, this command unit is still alive, still ready to hit anything nearby. But most likely the Panzer Grenadier would win out. I'm not so sure. With 3 members over 2, most likely it would. Though the carbine does have a bit higher rate of fire than the bolt action rifles at close range. You got a bomber coming in, will claim that AT gun. However, this ME-19 may get the kill on it. Currently, the aircraft is smoking. We'll make one last pass before it evacuates out. And will not get it, actually. Ground has been reclaimed by the Allied units at 52% up for the Axis control. It will need some reinforcements there. Battle phase B has been initiated for minute 30, so we may see some tanks. I think that's what the Axis player is saving up for, tanks. However, this map is very choked with hedges and tree groves, so he has to be very careful. We do got a radio operator Panzer IV. This can be quite strong. Nothing in the area except for this M1 AT gun, the 57mm. Only penetrate its armor, but with only one member, it's only a sneeze away from death. MG has 1 star of veterancy. The Jeep MMG may go in for the kill. The battle of the Jeeps. Which one's better? The American, was it Ford? Was it Ford that made them? Or Volkswagen? Or Volkswagen? Oh, cool. I'm not sure. It's a Volkswagen that was, or I think it eventually became Volkswagen. I'm not sure if this is still the same name back then. Either way, you got the Allied Jeep. Will force the fallback links to the strafing run. The M10 rotated from all the way over here now to the right side of the map. You got Sapeurs moving forward. They do have Panzerfaust and 2 TNT. TNT is quite deadly. Plus, they also have a dual SMG, so they are better equipped at close range. And additionally with Garands. So the Garands... Wait, the Garands have more high rate of fire than carbines? Is that really true? In this game anyways? Nice grenade there. Will get the pin. Will not force the kill, however. Actually got 0 models. Will force surrender. Huh. Since the carbine only has a rate of fire of 128, the Garands have much higher rate of fire. Maybe because this is a shock unit, so they're more experienced in close range fire. And he will actually gun down that half track. My target will be here. There's only this command Stewart here to really be receiving fire from it. The grounds are now once again in favor of the Allies at 52%. Overall, large sweeping gains here, but the Panzer IV is now to move forward. Will not get a shot off. Sapeurs are trying to find a good ambush position. They do in fact have bazookas. It given their range is 300, so right around here. He's going to eye to gain this force that it will be a very deadly spot in order to use their bazookas. However, Panzer Grenadiers are moving forward first. And they still have a grenade left for those Panzer Grenadiers. And he definitely did spot those units just then. So he's going to avoid that general area for the time being. We've got some gains over here by the Axis units. Currently the map controls is 50-50. Time on target onto the Wolverine. But the Wolverine is moving forward. However, we may get this 50 cal. Wolverine will get a nice shot off onto the Panzer IV operator. will receive a bounce there, and that's quite crucial for him not to lose that. He still has one more radio call-in, if I remember correctly. In comparison to range 1,000 meters to the 1,200 meters. So the Wolverine does have greater range, even though less armor penetration. You get the barrage not being reined in. Will force the fallback. That is critical. Now these units can push forward with a little chance for counterattack. And in fact, we'll do a focus barrage in this general area. That is a very interesting option. He's trying to eye for more suppression on the M10, and he will get out of the circle, so he won't receive additional fire, but perhaps will ward away, and he will get killed off by the Panzer IV. This area has been collapsed on. Most likely the Axis units will push forward and claim the area. This barrage here will help prevent any retreat. The command steward will be killed shortly by that Panzer IV. Actually, the steward is behind the little bush, so it's still subject to change of who's going to get killed who. Both sides are seeing the edge of the tanks, but it's not enough for a fire. But more and more artillery being rained in from this Panzer warfare will force the steward to fall back at this place thanks to the fire. The shooter is knocked out, and it gets killed by the autocannon, or may have died by fire. I'm actually not exactly sure which happened first, but he does get killed off without the use of the Panzer IV. Panther now moving on forward. That has 13, or was it 14 armor. The Wolverine cannot penetrate his frontal armor at max range, so he needs to get in much closer, most likely with bazookas. As the Grenadiers found the units, found the enemy the old-fashioned way. These half-tracks are going to run through a bit of fire, and there's still some residual artillery coming in from that call-in. Ooh, heard something big. Puma will get a kill on the half-track, so he does see this half-track moving forward. Command Panzer IV, along with a Command 232. Two Wolverines here. Maybe they can overwhelm the Panther and get in the close range. But the Panther with his 14 armor is a formidable opponent. These Sapeurs are moving forward. We'll lose a half-track. The other unit is pinned down. Over here, still very quiet on the other front. Another half-track does in fact go down. You got these M10s transitioning to engage this Puma. The Puma does have only a range of 1,000 meters and an accuracy of 5 versus the Wolverine's accuracy of 6 and a range of 1,200 meters. So the Wolverines are much better, but then again, this is a reconnaissance unit available from Phase A. Puma now lining up a shot. Wolverine is going to get the first shot up. Both sides rolls a miss. The Puma has not exactly the greatest arm penetration versus the 8 armor. The Puma is going to eye for running away. Will run behind a line of sight blocker and trying to eye in for closer range in order to use his more inferior gun. However, this Jeep MMG may come forward just to harass it and distract its fire. You got a Spitfire for a bombing run, eyeing for the Puma most likely. Puma going in for close range shot. This Jeep MMG will start laying into its side armor. We'll get some good amount of suppression in. He's going to line up a shot. There's a line of sight block to help protect it, but he needs to take out the Jeep MMG before it forces the pin. We got a dogfight, and the Spitfire does in fact get shot down. The Jeep MMG will be forced to fall back. Half track is spotted the Wolverine. He knows just fired. He's going to be lining up a shot sooner rather than later, but now that both reloaded, Boomer going in with his rear armor shown. Wolverine will get the first shot off, but retargets and gets killed. He was rotating, trying to prevent the since it was rotating, it was rotating the gun with it, so he couldn't. He was lining up shot, but once the gun returned, then he could fire back in position. But however, it did not, and he will get killed after that. He will surrender. I wonder what killed off that command store in later on in the game. Was it the Panzer Warfare or was it the autocannon? Let's see now. Nope. And Stewart did die to the autocannon, not to the Panzer Warfare flames. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.